And just obviously focusing on dereliction again, the idea of partnerships with private developers, is that ultimately a negative or positive thing in Dublin?
Well, look, they can work.
Yeah.
They don't always work. I've seen good examples of where they have and where they haven't. A lot of the ones that fell apart because the financial markets changed, and they couldn't support them anymore. But that could apply to a public project too. I think people, when they see PPP fail, they make the assumption that if it had been done directly by the state in the first place, it wouldn't have failed. But often it could fail for the same reasons, because the markets were no longer willing to lend either to the state or to private companies at a particular rate.
And do you think there's any lessons we can learn from other countries in relation to housing and dereliction, that type of thing?
Yeah, look, I think there are a few things. One thing we need to bear in mind is that having a housing crisis is not unique to Ireland. Almost all of the places that Irish people are moving to at the moment, like Australia, Southeast England, Toronto, you name it. So where the housing crisis occurred, they occur where you've got a growing population, rising incomes, and lots of jobs. Where they don't occur is where you don't have those things. Nobody wants to go to those places, for the obvious reasons. I think one of the things that we've a real difficulty though in Ireland, relative to, let's say, mainland European countries, is just the ratio of homes to people.
Yeah.
And there's a huge deficit there.
Yeah.
Until we make up that deficit, which is probably 250,000 new homes, everything else the government does is just kind of tinkering at the edges.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really hard to do. Like one of the things I kind of wonder, if I could roll back 5 years or 10 years, should we take a lead on building all new towns?